for WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or our participating sponsors.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Every day you're walking by and I can see how you shine. Here I am alone with nothing but in the dream that you are mine. Just exactly what I'll do, I don't know, baby, but I gotta find a way to reach you. Tell me what I gotta do to get to your house. Tell me where I gotta go to be with you. Tell me what I gotta say to speak to your heart. Tell me what I need to know tonight.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The Audio Genius.
Get in on the conversation with Rufus Williams and the Morning Show at 591-1690. We are the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Good morning, and welcome to Wednesday. It is the 15th of April, big day, 15th of April, the year 2026. It's the Rufus Williams Show. I am Rufus Williams, and as always, thrilled, delighted. I am so excited to be here with you this morning, and thank you so much for waking up with Rufus. As my show is constructed, I don't have time for anything this morning, but there's so much to do that I may have to reconstruct the show on the fly because there's a lot to talk about. First and foremost, these things are really important. Today represents the day that Jackie Robinson came into baseball. So we're supposed to have some folks come on at 8 o'clock. We'll talk about that a little bit, but that's a big and memorable day. I hope by now everyone is either prepared to send in their taxes today or at least send in an extension, but don't miss filing. This is important. If you miss it, it's going to cost you. Titus, I did not finish my taxes.
Me either.
I did submit an extension last night, so the pressure's off.
Well, I have missed the fidelity do my extension, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you're good for.
I'm good.
You're good till October.
Yes.
But I'm going to get back on this right away. Last year I got it done by July 2nd. I'm going to beat that record this time, but I didn't have to write another check when it had already been written. So I think I'm okay. Annette, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Rufus. Today is a real big important day. It's April 15th. It's also Harold Washington's birthday.
Harold Washington's birthday, tax day, Jackie Robinson's first day. I love all of that. But today is an even bigger day for me.
I was just about to ask that because I know what day it is.
Yeah, it is. This time 38 years ago, we were at Northwestern at Prentice, and I was doing my taxes right there in the lunchroom, waiting for my wife to deliver my son. Today is his 38th birthday. And of all the folks and of all the things, there's nothing bigger, greater than that to me.
Happy birthday, Bradford.
Happy birthday to Brad. He is, I keep trying to figure this out because we're parents and we go visit him for his birthday. Seems like something's off. Yeah, it seems like
Supposed to be the opposite way around, right?
Off. Yeah, we go visit him for his birthday, which we did a week ago because Bradford's about to get back. He's a traveler, so he's about to be back out of town. But certainly we'll talk with him and celebrate with him again today. So happy birthday to him. That's the good news. Titus, I think I'm going to have to call an audible. One of these things we're going to do tomorrow.
Let's do it.
I think it's going to be Big Daddy Kane because it's too good, too rich, and I don't want to shorten it.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's too much to talk about here. So anybody who caught the note that we were going to have a conversation with Big Daddy Kane, it's already been done. It's already recorded. We will play that tomorrow, and then you'll find it on the podcast because we still won't have enough time to finish.
Yeah,
because it's pretty rich. But did need to note those things. And that yesterday we talked about this baby who was left over in West Garfield Park. I think what we come to was that sometimes when things are so unbelievable, they're just unbelievable. And so what we learned in this situation is that it was false. It was false. The police didn't give out much information beyond that. They just said they are investigating a false missing persons report. So,
yeah, that's right, Rufus. They called it unfounded. It was an unfounded report. And it was kind of suspicious. I'm just going to use that word for lack of another word because of the child. I mean, she was so well kept.
Yes.
Freshly done hair. She had designer clothes. She was carrying an iPad. And at the end of the day, and their investigation, they're calling it a domestic situation. And they're also looking into possible charges of filing a false police report, because this story went absolutely viral because of the nature of it, of a child, nameless, ageless, just wandering alone on the streets and found at 7:00 at night. It was crazy. Everybody was on top of it. And police, as I said, called it unfounded. And so now the mother could face charges.
Yeah, we certainly will learn more about it. It was unbelievable when we talked about it yesterday morning for a good reason, because it didn't happen.
Okay, can y'all put this in layman's terms? I'm kind of, how do I explain this? So they did find a child, correct?
Correct. I mean, I don't know.
If that's
Titus,
true or not.
fake news? Is that the word?
Yeah, I don't know whether they did or not. I mean, this was the police who were reporting out based on a report that they got.
No, a child was found. A child was taken. A child was taken to a medical facility to be checked. And the investigation started at that point, starting at 7:00 at actually 6:50 yesterday. And there was video of what appeared to be a woman in a black SUV dropping off the child. So because of the due diligence of the police and their quick investigation, they were able to track down the fact that it was a domestic situation and now possible charges.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's bad. It's just a lot. Before we go to break, which I know we're behind, we're right at, this other story that I read this morning just broke my heart. Dennis Deere, who we know was a county commissioner, he was replaced after he died. He died after having a double lung transplant. Just a good guy, just always up, always positive. Had a rehabilitation company over in Lawndale, did work for the Lawndale Christian Legal Center, and was just a good dude. Even though he was a Q, I liked him. He was still just a good dude. What we heard last night is that he has twin sons. They found their dog outside, and his widow was shot in the chest 3 times, and one of his twin sons was found shot in the head. Gave no more information than that. Don't know what to make of it, except that this is just an unbelievable tragedy for this family. it's just unbelievable. His wife Barbara had worked in CPS, had been doing a number of things around counseling herself. A sister of Alpha Kappa Alpha. His son, one of his twin sons, who he was just exuded such pride with, and you saw just what this family had pulled together. This is just an unbelievable situation. But Dennis Deer's wife and son, widow and son, are now both dead, and it's just difficult. Let's take a break. We'll be back. We have more right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Illinois politicians did it again. They secretly tucked bad policy into the budget. Now, guess who pays the price? Servers, drivers, stylists, workers who depend on tips. Unless Springfield fixes this mistake, your credit and debit cards may not work to pay sales tax or tips starting July 1st. Tell Springfield, stop the credit card chaos law. Learn more at guardyourcard.com/Illinois. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Hi, this is Jill Ross, creator and producer of the Chicago Read-In. I'm excited to join WVON for this cultural experience that is designed to excite and stimulate the minds of young people ages 6 to 16. Join us Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 South King Drive at 12 noon for an amazing show that will keep young people and their parents on the edges of their seats. From dance to music to mime to art to rich creative storytelling, there is literally no program like the one we've put together that offers a cultural lens while igniting the minds of young people. The Chicago Read-In is free, but you must register at Eventbrite or WVON.com. We'll see you Saturday, April 25th. The Chicago Read-In is produced in conjunction with Vaughn TV series Turn the Page, which premieres this summer.
WVON birthday celebration continues on Saturday, April 18th at the City Winery as we host the legendary Regina Belle. That's right, Regina Belle is heading to Chicago for 2 shows at the City Winery, singing all of your favorites. This is your boy, Maddie. Come join me. I'll be hosting both shows at 5 p.m. and 8:30. Don't miss R&B and jazz legend Regina Belle, Saturday, April 18th at the City Winery, 1200 West Randolph. Tickets are going fast. Get yours today, and happy birthday, WVON.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region and, more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work, because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, the Talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
I was having a medical procedure, and I wanted to ensure my kids would get my home should something happen to me. I called attorney Ted London. He provided a land, trust, and power of attorney. Now my kids will not have to go through the probate process.
After the death of my husband, I had to get my affairs in order. I called attorney Ted London. Now my family and home will not have to go through the probate process.
773-721-3333. This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Lots going on the roadways. We're seeing some high travel times and lots of standing water. Right now, as you make your way along the Ryan, you're off to a 30-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Getting there for now along the Bishop Fort and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, you move along close to the posted speed. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, fine for now. The inbound side of the Stevenson, 50 minutes from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 40 minutes traveling out. The Eisenhower, a slow-moving hour already from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 55 on that return trip. And the Kennedy, 50 minutes in from O'Hare to downtown. Getting to the airport right now, jam-packed at an hour. You do want to factor in a stall at North Avenue. Taking a look at our weather right now, rain is falling across the city. The National Weather Service says we're looking at a daytime high of right around 72. We're already at 65 at O'Hare. It's 65 in Jeffrey Manor and 65 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. Just still heartbroken over Dennis Deer's family. And Titus, I spent time years ago talking about what would happen if we didn't have guns in our society. So many decisions get made, so many things happen in that moment, in that spur of the moment, that impact people. And they haven't given any more information than what I've shared, but just imagining all the things that might have happened and what would happen if there simply wasn't a gun there.
No, I mean, I think about stuff like this when it happens of, my family or, anybody's family, like you said, with the guns not being there. And we hear so many things about senseless shootings with children and things of that nature. And I'm not a big gun person. I do have like my FOIA card and stuff like that, but I'm not a big gun person because guns kill people and people kill people. And it's just one of those things where if we don't necessarily need it, why have it?
Yeah.
And it's just tragedies like this that make you just wonder, like you said, if there's no guns or anything like that around, maybe things end up differently.
Yeah, and I'll admit, I stopped talking about it so much because I started thinking about the Civil War that seemed to be coming. Because I think people are starting to truly see the insanity of the man in the White House. It seems less likely in the moment. But in the moment, then we have these kinds of things happen, which are so disturbing. There was another story yesterday regarding guns in Oklahoma. I don't know if you saw this. It was a guy came in, 20 years old, former student at a school, came in and started firing. The principal took action, ran, tackled him. The principal got shot in the leg, but this guy had two guns, and the principal jumped him and stopped him from all the harm that he was looking to do. He had talked about what had taken place at Columbine and really came in just to do damage to people in that school. And thank God for a courageous principal who stopped that from happening. So again, we got guns. We got guns, and these things are occurring. There was another hopeful story that took place as well yesterday in Hamburg, Michigan. A young lady out at a gas station walking through, a guy walked up with a gun and kidnapped her. But he took her into the store and he told her to pay for some cigarettes. And while he did that, she was able to mouth to the clerk, "Help." The clerk came over and stood between them, put the man out of the store, called the police, who then came and took him. These are just the stories that videos come out and we know about. But there are people doing some really bad things. And somebody, somewhere, somehow, we have to get back in control of what's going on and thinking of people doing bad things. We got a couple of people in Washington who can't keep themselves to themselves. So Eric Swalwell and Tony Gonzalez are no longer in Congress. Eric Swalwell is no longer running for governor, although he was the front runner, and he is now being, I saw an interview yesterday of a young lady who is now going to charge him with rape. So what are these people doing?
I feel like it's one of those things where you had a certain privilege in life and you think you can have everything you want, even when that person says no. And so it's just one of those things where you're trying to take advantage because you think you are bigger than what you are. But nobody's above the law. And I'm happy that this person will be going behind bars just because of the fact is that we don't need people like him on the streets and yet alone representing us in Congress.
Annette, where's the fracture? Is the fracture with what these guys in the sense that they have a level of entitlement? Is there some, I mean, you would think that after Me Too, after all this stuff, that people would figure out a way to act right, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And then, and this one is just interesting, the ComEd 4, two of them are having their trials redone. Two of them being Ann Pragamore, who was the CEO of ComEd, and Michael McLean, who was Mike Madigan's right-hand man. There are two more who aren't. And what happened? Why these two? What happens with them? John Hooker was big in our community. John Hooker did a lot of stuff for a lot of people and got engaged in this. And there's something there that just doesn't seem right. Why these two and not the others? And what gets cleared? There's a lot going on. And then finally, before I go to break, dumb Trump is still talking to the Pope. And why he's doing that, it makes no sense. And what he's saying and doing makes no sense, which makes me feel better about not having a civil war, because nobody in Washington makes any sense anywhere, anyway. And J.D. Vance is about as dumb as a box of rocks, even with all the education that he has. I've just never seen such stupidity ever in my life. And he wants now, J.D. Vance is going to give advice to the Pope. Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ. Annette, please tell us what's going on in the news. We'll be back right after this.
Outside this morning, Wednesday, rain and storms.
Temperatures are expected to climb into the 70s. Good morning. I'm Annette Bernoy, and here's what's happening.
What's coming tonight?
More heavy rain and storms are expected in the Chicago area this morning. The National Weather Service expects things to dry up for a few hours before additional storms arrive this evening. And last night, heavy downpours impacted the north and northwest suburbs, causing lightning, flooding, and some downed trees. Well, Hyde Parkers got together last night to express concern about those destructive teen gatherings. Residents and community leaders got together last night at Sip and Savor Coffee Shop after hearing about plans for another takeover. Police say last month hundreds of teens flooded the streets near 52nd and Dorchester, jumping on cars and vandalizing several. That incident resulted in curfew violations and one arrest. And as we continue to celebrate WVON's 63rd birthday, join Matt McGill this Saturday at the City Winery of Chicago for Regina Bell, the Academy Award-winning and multi-Grammy-winning singer, songwriter, and actress. WVON's Logan Page has more.
Singer Regina Bell discussed her upcoming Saturday performance at the City Winery in a conversation with Matt McGill.
Between the food and the people, it's always been a wonderful, wonderful experience. So I am excited to be in Chicago, to be back in Chicago, and to have almost 2 sold out shows. I think I'm 3 tickets shy. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you, Chicago, for showing me so much love after all these years.
She shares details about the show and what fans can expect and her love for Chicago. The interview highlights her continued connection with audiences and live music. Logan Page, Our News Now, WVON 1690 AM.
We do apologize for those technical difficulties. However, that's a look at our news now. On 1690 WVON, traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 7:33.
Burnham once said, make no small plans. So the Obamas didn't. The Obama Presidential Center opening Juneteenth weekend. Chicago is more than history. It's Black history. We're WVON.
Betting on sports is about the numbers. So check out these numbers. 16, that's the number of games showing on the expansive video wall at the sports book at Wind Creek. 9, the number of betting kiosks open 24/7. 3, the number of bars. 6, the number of dining options. And 0, the odds you'll ever want to bet anywhere else again. The sports book at Wind Creek, Chicago Southland is now open. Must be 21 years or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER.
Vaughn TV's Friday Night of Premieres wraps up Friday, April 17th, and we are going out strong with a powerful short film showcase you don't want to miss. Featuring Finger Food, Chicago Guide, What Say You, and RIP t-shirts.
I fear for myself as being African American. Am I going to be safe going to school, coming home from school? I just hope this world get better because this world is crazy.
4 films, 4 perspectives, 1 unforgettable night. Thought-provoking stories, moments that make you laugh, reflect, and see things differently. This is where creativity meets culture. Don't miss the grand finale of Friday Night of Premieres this Friday, April 17th. And tune in all day Monday, April 20th for your opportunity to call in and join the conversation. Vaughn TV available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV+, the WVON app, or online at von.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
If you are caring for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, you are not alone. You can find support, resources, real conversations, and guidance at the 4th Annual Release the Silence Conference, hosted by the Alzheimer's Association Illinois Chapter. This free conference is Saturday, April 25th, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the UIC Forum in Chicago. Join the conversation. Register at alzillinois.org/release the silence. That's alzillinois.org/release the silence. WVON, media sponsor and proud partner.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray.
Congressman Jonathan Jackson on the line.
I saw a meme that said America will come and get you. When it's about the oil, they bombed in Iran, they've got oil. They bombed in Iraq, they've got oil. They bombed in Libya, they've got oil. And now they bombed in Venezuela, they've got oil. And they even came after Diddy because he had oil.
Come on, Congressman. What a great setup. That was good. That was good.
It's the afternoon show with Atiba Buchanan and LaDonna Ray. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON, The Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman Show. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more, right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Thank you.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Inbound travel times along the Ryan just bumped up to 35 minutes from 95th Street into downtown. You want to factor in an accident. It is off to the right shoulder at 47th Street. So far, so good. Still along the Bishop Ford and Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, moving along close to the posted speed. Things are still pretty quiet along DuSable Lakeshore Drive for now. The inbound side of the Stevenson just bumped up to almost an hour from I-355 to DuSable Drive, outbound 40 minutes. The inbound side of the Eisenhower also just a little over an hour now from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip will take you 55 minutes. And 55 along the Kennedy and from O'Hare to downtown, outbound an hour. You still want to factor in that earlier stall at North Avenue. Taking a look at our weather, we are seeing a little rainfall in the area this morning. The National Weather Service says we could see some heavier storms later today. Temperatures are expected to climb into the low to mid 70s. Right now it's 64 at Midway, 64 in Inglewood, and 64 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm NF Lenoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Ask Dr. Ige, brought to you by the Chicago Department of Public Health. Find valuable information and insights on public health issues.
No, it's always great to be here with you. Let's talk about...
Welcome to Ask Dr. Ige, brought to you by the Chicago Department of Public Health. Find valuable information and insights on public health issues at chicago.gov/CDPH.
I'm always excited to talk to our guest this morning. She is the Commissioner of the Chicago Department of Public Health. It is none other than Dr. Ige. Dr. Ige, good morning.
Hey, Rufus. It's good to be here again with you, my friend. Thank you for having me.
No, it's always great to be here with you. Let's talk about every month there's something special. And this month we're talking about healthy homes, which really fits in because we used to call spring break cleanup week. So thinking about April being Healthy Homes Month, let's talk about that, and particularly this whole issue around lead poisoning in children. Why is that a public health issue?
Thank you, Rufus. In public health, we're always interested in things that affect a lot of people. That is why it is public. You know, if it affects just one person or two people, then it's not a big deal. But if it affects a lot of people, then it is a public health issue. And lead is one of those things. And the reason why I am worried is that every year since I have started in my role as commissioner, I receive reports for more than 1,000 children that have been detected with elevated blood levels in their blood. That's lead poisoning, more than 1,000 each year. So I am not happy with that number. And lead, you know, is a metal, is a toxic metal, and it causes a range of health problems, especially in young children. So today I just want to talk about that so that families know what to do. I really want these numbers to come down. And the problem with lead is that when lead is absorbed in the body, it can cause damage to the brain and vital organs. So every single organ in the body can be affected by lead. But I am most worried about the brain. Lead can affect the kidneys, it can affect the nerves, it can affect the blood. But lead can cause slowed growth and development, learning and behavioral problems, hearing and speech problems, lower IQ, decreased ability to pay attention. All these numbers, attention deficit, the kids cannot focus in school, the kids are not doing well in school, they're not cut out for school. Sometimes it is because they have been exposed to lead. The children are not paying attention, they are hyperactive, they are a troublemaker, and people label, especially Black kids, as untrainable and uneducable, and it is because they are living in homes that are where they have been exposed to lead. So this is really important for me because it leads to so much long-term impact and harm that can permanently impact this child's life, not just the physical health, but their prospects and economic, opportunities in life. So, and Another thing that bothers me is the wide disparities that we see, that a lot of these issues are coming from the communities of color, from the south side and the west side, from black communities. That is a problem. As much as five-fold difference in lead exposure across Chicago neighborhoods. So this is why it is a public health problem. Too many kids are being exposed. The impact is so serious, and it is concentrated in our communities. And so I am here to talk about it.
You know, Dr. Ige, I feel the passion that you shared in all these things and understand truly fully why. I'm glad we're having the conversation because there hasn't been a lot of discussion about lead recently, and there needs to be. So talk to us then about why children are at higher risk of lead poisoning, because that's specifically where you went to.
Yes. Now, think about it. When you have a baby, you carry them around and then they start to crawl around. And once they start to crawl around, you can't stop them. They're crawling everywhere, they're on the ground, and the reflex is from the mouth, from the hand to the mouth. Everything goes to the mouth. And so, infants and especially toddlers put things in their mouth. They hold objects and put it in their mouth. And many times, these things, if you live in the homes where lead is a problem, it can be contaminated with lead because lead most often is like in the dust, and they're more likely to be exposed than older children. So again, because they're at that stage where they touch everything, they're on the ground, they're putting things in their mouth, that is one factor. Number two is that the blood-brain barrier for children, it is more porous. Things can get from the blood to the brain easier when you're still a child. As you grow older, that blood-brain barrier becomes tighter and it is less difficult for things to get into your brain. But when you're still young, especially under the age of 5, the things that get into the blood very easily get into the brain. And the challenge here is that you don't immediately see an impact. These things that I was describing, people don't know that it is lead. They don't, oh, this is just a difficult child. This is just a troublemaker. So lead exposure in children is often difficult to see. And they don't immediately show symptoms or look sick. So from the toddler age until the age of 5, when the body is developing, this is the time when we really need to be sensitive. And what we recommend is that children are tested at 12 months, at 24 months, and at 36 months to detect in their blood, is there any lead present? And that is the conversation today, because we don't see it immediately. So we have to screen for it, we have to test for it. And at these milestones, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, so that if we detect lead at that time, we can, deal with it immediately. And that is the other reason why I'm here today, because again, testing in our communities is quite low. So lead poisoning is high and testing for lead poisoning is low. And that we need to do something about.
Well, let's do something about it, Dr. EA. How can people, now that you're sharing this information, don't know why people aren't getting it tested, don't know if it's part of a normal pediatric examination or not, but where can children go, where can parents go to get these wellness checks for their children?
Every pediatrician is supposed to offer it. We are also working on programs this year to do mobile testing and bring testing to the communities starting from summer, because we want to make it easy for children to be tested. For children who are going to early childhood centers, they also will get a reminder to get the children tested for lead, etc. But your child's pediatrician should be able to offer the lead screening, and it's supposed to be part of the routine wellness check. We actually have a video on our website that can help parents know what to expect at a wellness check. So we don't want people to only go to their provider when a child is sick. And I know it's extremely difficult to carve out the time, but when these children are young, it is important to check and see that everything is okay, just so that we can catch it on time. Don't wait until they're sick. And this is why it's wellness check. Is my child doing okay? Is everything functional. Oh, my child has delayed speech. My child is not speaking yet. My child is not crawling yet. Don't just say, oh, they're just slow. It could be lead exposure. So go get them tested, and don't wait until the child is sick to go into the pediatrician and do your wellness check. It is a very straightforward check. It's tiny prick. They test the blood. If there is lead there, we start, to kick into action.
We'll have more with Dr. Ige right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicago. This is City Clerk Anna Valencia, and I'm excited to share that Amnesty Month is back. From April 1st through April 30th, you can purchase your Chicago City sticker without late fees or back charges. There are 3 ways to get your city sticker during Amnesty April. 1, visit any office of the city clerk or Department of Finance location. 2, come see us at one of our 3 Saturday mobile city halls, and you'll get your city key too. 3, visit shycityclerk.com to purchase online. We'll see you soon.
Hi, this is Jill Ross, creator and producer of the Chicago Read-In. I'm excited to join WVON for this cultural experience that is designed to excite and stimulate the minds of young people ages 6 to 16. Join us Saturday, April 25th at the Harold Washington Cultural Center, 4701 South King Drive at 12 noon for an amazing show that will keep young people and their parents on the edges of their seats. From dance to music to mime to art to rich creative storytelling, there is literally no program like the one we've put together that offers a cultural lens while igniting the minds of young people. The Chicago Read-In is free, but you must register at Eventbrite or WVON.com. We'll see you Saturday, April 25th. The Chicago Read-In is produced in conjunction with Vaughn TV's series Turn the Page, which premieres this summer.
At ComEd, we create financial assistance programs with you in mind. It's one reason we created SAM, our smart assistance manager, to help families like yours take control of their energy bills. SAM can help you find financial assistance and payment options. Discover programs like budget billing, due date extensions, deferred payment arrangements, and more. You may be relieved to discover what you're eligible for. Learn more at ComEd.com/SAM. ComEd, powering lives.
Experience the power, passion, and breathtaking athleticism of Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater live at the Auditorium April 24th through the 26th under the direction of newly appointed artistic director Alicia Graff Mack. 1 legendary dance company, 2 unforgettable programs, 3 spectacular days, and 4 incredible performances. From powerful storytelling to electrifying movement, enjoy Ailey's 5 Chicago premieres, contemporary favorites, and beloved masterpieces. Tickets are on sale now at auditoriumtheater.org. Secure your seats today.
Knock, knock, Capital One Bank guy.
Wow, Charles Barkley?
I just moved into the neighborhood. Can I borrow some Wi-Fi?
Yeah, sure, Chuck. That's what the Capital One Cafe is here for. Open 7 days a week at most locations.
Oh, can I use your ATM? My dog walker only takes cash.
Anything for a neighbor.
Can I try the catchphrase?
Sure, take it for a spin.
There's no fees and minimums on Capital One checking accounts.
Nice, Chuck. I'll take it from here. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com/bank guide for details. Capital One, NA, member FDIC.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hey, it's Cleopatra Draper. Join me for the Midday Show weekdays at 9 a.m. where we'll sip and spill all the tea. Do you want it hot or cold? Either way, we're serving up the flavor of the day. Weekdays at 9 a.m. right here on the station giving you what's now and what's next. 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
We're starting with DuSable Lakeshore Drive, where travel times have ramped up pretty quickly. That northbound trip from 67th Street to Jackson, now a slow-moving 23-minute trip. As you make your way from Hollywood to Monroe, now 30 minutes, pretty packed from Lawrence to Fullerton. Turning to the inbound Ryan, it just jumped up to 40 minutes from 95th Street to downtown. That earlier accident at 47th Street is now off to the side. The Bishop Ford, things are picking up there. Now 17 minutes in from I-80-94, heavy from 103rd Street all the way in. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial still doing well for now. If you're on the Stevenson, give yourself an hour from I-355 to DuSable Drive, 50 traveling out. Just over an hour along the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, that outbound trip 55 minutes. And the inbound side of the Kennedy, we're seeing a new accident now at Harlem. Your inbound travel time now an hour from O'Hare to downtown, getting to the airport just shy of an hour. Taking a look at our weather, we're seeing some on again, off again light rain across the city this morning. The National Weather Service has us under a flood watch because of more rain happening later today. Right now, temperatures are sliding backwards. We're down to 63 at O'Hare, now 63 in Chatham, and 63 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm NF Lenoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Back to my discussion with Dr. Ige. Now, Dr. Ige, I guess you mentioned a couple things. One, parents often don't have time, but there's the old adage, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So what it takes going forward is nothing compared to what you can do if you can stop it in the first place. You also mentioned a video that's on your website. I suspect if people go to chicago.gov and look up lead poisoning prevention, they can find it right there.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned how prevalent this is in our community. Talk about why that is. What are the sources of lead exposure?
Yes. So when I say that this is concentrated in the West Side and community areas on the West Side and the South Side, it is because those are the areas where we have old stock homes that were built before 1978. By 1978, lead paint was banned. You cannot use lead paint in the homes anymore. So these, paints that have lead in it are usually in homes from 1978 and homes that have not been renovated for a long time. And so that is when lead paint was banned. So homes that were older than that, especially when the paint is peeling and cracking. If you look at some windows painted white and they start to peel and crack, we see many of these things. We don't pay attention to them, but what happens is these things fall to the ground, it flakes, the children crawl around, and they put their hand in their mouth. This is often how this happens. Nearly 90% of Chicago's housing stock was built before 1978, when lead paint was banned. So that is the number one factor. Now, lead can also be found in water pipes. There's been a lot of, concern about that since the Flint incident. Chicago Water Department does a lot of work to ensure that the water is safe. From the work that we do and the children that are reported to us, most often, in more than 90% of the cases, the lead is from paint and not from water. Lead can also be found in some products and toys. Some people who are immigrant families who have toys made in other countries where lead is not banned, they may have some toys and that is painted with lead-based paint that they can put in their mouth. Sometimes that happens. There are some industries like glasswork that parents may bring lead home through their work clothes, etc. So if you work in glass with glass or lead-based products, it is always helpful to leave your work clothes at work and not bring it home. But most of the cases of lead poisoning reported to CDPH are due to lead paint. And so what we recommend, if your home was built before 1978, especially if you have any part of your home with peeling paint, please talk to your child provider about your your child's lead testing. 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, age 1, age 2, and age 3. If you live in those kind of homes, if there is lead at all in your child's blood, we will be able to help with fixing the homes if you cannot afford to do so. But the first step is look at your home. Is it old? Was it built before 1978? Step 2, do you have any peeling paint? Step 3, do you have a child that is under the age of 5? If the answer to all of this is 3, please schedule your lead test as soon as possible, just so that we can do something about the child ASAP. We don't want them to get to school and then they said, oh, they can't cope with kindergarten. We send them back. We send them to alternative schools, or they can cope in school. Many of these things are due to factors that could have been prevented and treated if we had caught them early.
You know, Dr. Ige, my son used to say my mom lived on the old-fashioned part of town. And, you know, when I'm looking at this and you said homes built before 1978, it appears that nearly most of Chicago's housing stock was built before 1978. So this is a concern in so many places, particularly, as you point out, if there hasn't been any rehab in the house, because then that peeling paint is going to be there and going to be an issue. Obviously, the work that you all do there at the Chicago Department of Public Health, one, in elevating these things and also providing assistance is really what's most important in these cases. Talk about the support that CDP. We'll get more of Dr. Ige. It'll play on the weekend, right, Titus? So you'll catch it all there. Just great information about lead paint. Please pay particular attention to making sure that we take care of our houses and our children. That's what Saturday at 2 p.m. to be specific, Titus tells us. So make sure you check that out. In the meantime, Annette, tell us what's happening in the headlines.
Well, Rufus, is humid and rainy on this Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. I'm Annette Flournoy, in the headlines. Today marks the birthday of the late Mayor Harold Washington, the city's first Black mayor. Hyde Park residents and business owners are patting themselves on the back this morning after thwarting one of those planned team takeovers. And more heavy rain and storms are expected in our area. The National Weather Service says we can see some severe weather later today. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and 1690 AM WVON Berwyn, Chicago. It's 8:01.
BIN News Now. The teen accused as the getaway driver in the shooting that killed a Black Brooklyn infant, Kaori Patterson Moore, who was in a stroller, is proclaiming his innocence.
I didn't do it. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't pull the trigger.
18-year-old Matthew Rodriguez faces murder charges and is being held without bail. He was driving the moped from which Black 21-year-old Amori Green allegedly fired the bullet that killed the 7-month-old. A historic Black church in Virginia has paid off nearly $1 million in back rent for hundreds of public housing residents. Alfred Street Baptist Church says the gift will help families avoid eviction and get a fresh start. And gospel singer Tamala Mann is making gospel music history. Her song, Live, Breathe, Fight, tops Billboard's gospel airplay chart, giving her a record-tying 13th #1, matching Kirk Franklin's all-time mark. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app. Back to Terry McCready.
President Trump says the war with Iran is very close to over. He told Fox Business that if he pulled up stakes right now, it would take Iran 20 years to rebuild. Last week, he said regardless of how the peace talks play out, the U.S. wins.
And now all we do is we'll open up the strait even though we don't use it because we have a lot of other countries in the world that do use it.
Trump telling Fox Business that he believes Iran wants to make a deal very badly. Meanwhile, Florida's GOP Senator Rick Scott says he supports President Trump as the conflict in Iran continues now with the U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Scott also said there is potential for American boots on the ground.
I don't want to send troops in, but if in the end, the only way we can get the uranium out, I don't know what other options we will have.
Black House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries discussing the impact of the ongoing conflict just days ago.
We see a war that continues to escalate. More than a dozen countries are involved, and billions of dollars of taxpayer money are being spent overseas when this administration refuses to actually spend a dime to make life more affordable for the American people.
But Senator Scott says he believes in what the president is doing in Iran and Venezuela because he believes it will make America safer, adding the approach Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio have taken in both countries has an opportunity for success. A Texas Tech University law student is suing university leaders and faculty. Ellen Fisher is arguing violation of free speech rights after she was disciplined over comments about the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The third-year law student and founder of the campus NAACP chapter says news of Kirk's death broke at the end of a race and racism class, and discussions among students and faculty continued throughout the day. But the federal lawsuit argued Fisher was the only student investigated and punished. Nearly 2 months later, back in November, someone apparently scrawled a racial slur on Fisher's car while it was parked on campus. After Fisher reported it, the lawsuit said the school told her it was irrelevant and proceeded with a months-long Honor Council investigation into whether Fisher acted unprofessionally when she discussed Kirk's killing in classrooms and clinic offices. The process ended last month, and Fisher was found responsible for violating the law school's honor code and described her comments as loud, happy, and celebratory. The lawsuit disputes that characterization. The council recommended a written reprimand be placed in Fisher's permanent school record. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow VIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
This report is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then, you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now, that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises. All on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices. Exclusively at Walmart and straighttalk.com.
Secure the rate, love the return. Hi, I'm Harry Malone, Vice President and Community President of United Fidelity Bank. At United Fidelity Bank, we make it easier than ever to start growing your money with confidence. Right now, you can take advantage of our high-yield CDs, including our 6-month term, currently paying 4.20% annual percentage yield. It's a competitive rate designed to help your savings work harder from day one. And when you bank with us, you're choosing more than a great rate. You're choosing a team that believes in personal service, relationships, and financial solutions tailored to your goals. We're not a big box bank. We're your local partner committed to delivering the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by and see me or my team to open your high-yield United Fidelity Bank CD at our Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street. Details at unitedfidelity.com.
Rates are subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to a standard rate in effect at the time of renewal unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
Vine TV's Friday Night of Premieres wraps up Friday, April 17th, and we are going out strong with a powerful short film showcase you don't want to miss. Featuring Finger Food, Chicago Guide, What Say You, and RIP t-shirts.
I fear for myself as being African American. Am I going to be safe going to school, coming home from school? I just hope this world get better because this world is crazy.
4 films, 4 perspectives, 1 unforgettable night. Thought-provoking stories, moments that make you laugh, reflect, and see things differently. This is where creativity meets culture. Don't miss the grand finale of Friday Night of Premieres this Friday, April 17th. And tune in all day Monday, April 20th for your opportunity to call in and join the conversation. Vine TV available on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV+, the WVON app, or online at VON.TV. Vine TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Remember when getting your hair done wasn't just a beauty ritual, but a bonding experience? From hot combs in Grandma's kitchen to laughter in the local beauty salon, it's a journey rooted in love, legacy, and style. Join Nidra Williams, owner of Solo Beauty Supply, for the business of black hair Tuesday nights from 9 to midnight. She's bringing the sisterhood back. One story, one strand at a time. It's more than hair, it's heritage. Join the sisterhood Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, WVON.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, The Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church. Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
April brings spring flowers and a birthday celebration for the voice of Black Chicago. Happy birthday, WVON, celebrating 63 years of Black excellence. Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Rufus Williams on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
You wonder how we do it. It's just one simple rule. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Hey. R-U-F-U-S. What's that spell? R-U-F-U-S. I'm just cool. Honey, baby, can't you see? Girl, I'm so cool. Ain't nobody bad like me. Sing it, baby. R-U-F-U-S. What's that stand? R-U-F-U-S. That spell cool. The audio genius. The audio genius. The audio genius.
Welcome back. We mentioned at the top of the show, and Annette has reported in each news break, that today is Mayor Harold Washington's birthday. It's my son's birthday. It is tax day, and it is Jackie Robinson Day throughout baseball. Certainly throughout baseball also means right here in Chicago and at White Sox Park. We have joining us this morning none other than the founder of my block, my hood, my city, Jamal Cole, who's going to be busy doing things around baseball. Jamal, good morning and welcome back to WVON.
Hey, thanks for having me. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. This is your week. You're going to be back. And in case you didn't know, you're going to be back on with me on Friday morning to talk about your hoodie gala. So we've been organizing your life while you were doing other things. How's your son doing?
He's doing good, man. He's, he's like a reflection of me. And so I'm gonna have gray hair pretty soon running around with him this morning, but he's doing good. Than's for asking.
Good. You're gonna love it and enjoy these moments. Now you're gonna be busy today. Talk to us about what you're up to.
Yeah, so today I get to I have the honor of throwing out the first pitch of the White Sox game today on Jackie Robinson Day. I think that means more to me than even being at the baseball game, just thinking about what Jackie Robinson represents, access for everybody. In Chicago, a lot of kids feel like they don't belong downtown, they don't have access places. So I'm doing a lot of prayers, doing a lot of studying, and just being very grateful for the moment to represent Chicago on Jackie Robinson Day. It's such an honor.
Look, man, I don't get jealous about a whole lot of things, but I'm jealous about this. And the only person who's more jealous is Titus, who is a huge White Sox fan. And not only is he not throwing out the pitch, he probably has to work. He won't even be at the game. So that's got to be quite an experience. Now, Jamal, you know that the key is don't bounce the ball?
Oh, yeah. You know what, man? I'm going to throw a slider. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can. And I'm just going to be thinking about Jackie Robinson. And I'm going to think about just everything he meant. I'm going to throw it. I've already been getting teased. Everybody's been saying, Jamal, you got to walk all the way up the mound. Don't walk, don't stand on the bottom of the mound. Don't bounce it. I don't know what's going to happen, Rufus. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that I'm going to throw a slider. I'm going to be out there for real.
Look, man, you're going to throw a perfect pitch. Remember 50 Cent throughout the first pitch. And it went almost to first base. It was the worst thing ever. So we don't want to see you in the highlights for tonight and forever for throwing a bad pitch. But talk about, Jamal, why you're the one picked to do this. You're doing a lot of things with My Block, My City, My Hood. Is baseball part of what you do there as well?
Not really baseball, man. I feel like everybody wants to be a rapper or a basketball player, and just like I did growing up, I didn't see success in different forms. You could only be a rapper or a basketball player, but I want to show kids that you can be more. It's okay to want to be a baseball player, but the White Sox, there's hundreds of jobs inside of that stadium that you can do without even touching a bat. It's okay to want to go to the league, but you can start your own league, right? That's what I did in the nonprofit sector. And so I want to show kids, if there's 15 currency exchanges in your neighborhood and there's no banks, if you ask a kid what's a job at a bank, they don't know. Some kids want to work at banks. Some kids want to be architects. Some kids want to work at trading firms. Exposure is violence prevention to me, and that's what I'm all about. So I'm grateful to throw out the first pitch today, and because Jackie Robinson represented access, and I think kids in Chicago definitely need access to all types of opportunities.
And baseball is only part of his story. He did a lot after he was done playing that really helped to move things around in our community and continue to make things happen from there. So he's an icon for a lot of reasons, and it's such a wonderful thing that you have the opportunity to go out there and anytime you have the opportunity to go to throw the first pitch is a big deal, but to do it on Jackie Robinson Day, there is no greater level of accolade that you could receive on a day like this.
Thank you, man. He had a lot of emotional strength, and so I'm gonna try to channel that as I go out there today. So it's a great moment. I'm very happy to be there. I'll be there with my son, my father, and so it's gonna be a great opportunity to represent my block, my hood, my city. So.
Indeed, and it took all of that. And to your point, most of us growing up, we go to a bank, all we know are tellers. So we think banking is tellers, but there's a whole lot more to be done with money than what you can do there. And going to a baseball stadium, to your point, there are a lot more things to do other than just to play baseball, because somebody owns a team. Somebody's paying all these players all these millions. And wouldn't it be nice to have that kind of money, to be in that kind of position, to have that kind of ownership, and to be able to impact it in many ways. So congratulations to you on all that you do. Congratulations on today. And I look forward to talking to you on Friday about the Hoodie Awards that are coming up.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate you guys as always. Love VON, and you have a great day, man.
All right. We'll be cheering for you. Look, don't bounce it and don't throw it to first base. That's all I'm going to leave you with.
All right, man.
All right, Jamal. Be well. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, the Woodstock Report. Be back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region, and more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work, because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, the Talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can make me feel like a spectator in my own life.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine preventive treatment.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Best way to describe this morning's rush hour is heavy and slow. The inbound Ryan, a 35-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Getting to the Ryan along the Bishop Ford, you'll need 20 minutes in from I-80-94. Also, you want to factor in an accident. It is on the outbound side at 154th Street. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, now 17 minutes in from I-80. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, pretty much heavy on both ends. That trip from 67th Street to Jackson, a slow-moving 23 minutes, heavy from Soldier Field all the way to Monroe. Hollywood to Monroe, a slow-moving 30-minute trip. The Stevenson, an hour from I-355 to DuSable Drive, outbound 50 minutes. You'll need an hour 5 on the Eisenhower from Thorndale to the Burns Circle. That outbound trip, 55 minutes. And the Kennedy, heavy in both directions. Give yourself an hour in from O'Hare to downtown, just shy of an hour getting to the airport. Taking a look at our weather, rain has stopped for now. The National Weather Service says we're under a flood watch for much of the day. Right now, temperatures in the 60s. We're at 63 at O'Hare. It's 63 in Chatham and 63 here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Just how you feel. Instead of I wanna know if what you feel is real.
Welcome back, and as is every other Wednesday, it's time for the Woodstock Report. We have joining us this morning Myanno Miller, who is the Advocates Associate at the Woodstock Institute, and Irene Sherr, Deputy Bureau Chief at the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Wonderful to have you.
Good morning.
Indeed. Myanno, we already know about the Woodstock Institute because it's the Woodstock Report. But Irene, talk to us about what happens at the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development.
Oh, sure. Thank you. My name is Irene Sherr. I'm Deputy Bureau Chief here. And I lead many of our business-facing initiatives that support small businesses, help employers find the talent they need, and just try to help businesses navigate the maze of resources that exist. And in particular, we have a program called the Cook County Small Business Source, which provides no-cost advising, webinars, grants, and access to capital to local entrepreneurs. And to date, we've served 36,000 businesses around the county.
It's fantastic.
I would say that.
That's fantastic. Now, you both have been involved, and I'd love to hear from both of you on this. Both of your organizations, the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development and the Woodstock Institute, have supported a bill in the Illinois legislature that empowers small businesses. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so the bill is the Small Business Financing Transparency Act. HB 744 is the bill number. The idea behind the bill is giving small business owners the same information that they already get as consumers. And what I mean by that is when we apply for a credit card or a car loan or a mortgage, we're entitled to know that loan's APR. Under existing law, small businesses are not entitled to APR information, and that makes it really hard for small business owners to compare prices the same way they would be able to if they were taking out a car loan.
Is there something specific about this with small businesses? Why is this information not transparent to them?
Let me just say, we work directly with a lot of these small business owners. And in general, access to capital is hard, particularly for small businesses. And often they are just bombarded with offers of easy money, no credit needed, and people just it's easy for people to be sucked into it without even realizing what the APR is or the annual percentage rate is. The promotions often feature other numbers that represent other things, and they're just not able to compare apples to apples, and can often end up in very difficult positions.
So often when things like this occur, and you think about people who are paying interest rates that are approaching, in some cases, 1,000%, the question is, it seems that there should be a law about this. And so here we are with the one that you just mentioned. Talk about why it's so important that this bill gets passed now.
It's essential. I mean, go ahead, my. Oh, go ahead. We'll switch off. Right now, every day that this bill isn't passed, Illinois small businesses lose about $1.25 million a day, or about $459 million a year that's lost just in interest and fees. This bill is about the affordability of capital for Illinois small businesses, and because of the cost of financing is reflected in the prices that small businesses then charge customers, this $1.25 million a day that otherwise goes to these lenders that bombard small businesses with ads, these savings will help make day-to-day goods and services more affordable for everyone.
You wanted to add something to that?
Yeah, I would just say there are other states around the country that have passed this type of legislation to support small businesses, and we think Illinois should be right up there, making sure that our businesses can access the capital they need to grow. Businesses need credit to grow, expand, hire new people, buy equipment, all of that. And they need to be able to do that with transparent and accurate information.
Critically important. And let's talk about Black businesses. Myanno, why and how does this issue disproportionately impact Black-owned small businesses and the broader Black community beyond just the business owners?
Well, when we talk about access to capital, it's no secret that Black communities have been historically shut out of traditional ways that other communities have been able to access capital, traditional bank loans, things like that. And when people don't have access to these more traditional ways of financing their business, if you need money to make payroll, you need money to make payroll. So a lot of people, they Google on like small business loans, or they go see the ads that they're getting all the time, as Irene mentioned, and they're being targeted by these ads that advertise $50,000 in your bank account tomorrow. And when you don't have a lot of options, you go with the option that says that they're going to give you money tomorrow. But this issue makes it so that people are able to compare these loans with each other to find the option that works the best for their business. We're not trying to tell people to do anything that they don't want to do, or trying to tell people how to finance their business. This bill would make it so that people and small business owners are empowered to make the decisions that work the best for their business. And that's it.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. Go on, please.
I was just going to say this is for non-bank lenders. I just want to say that the traditional institutions, the banks that you may be familiar with, or that one is familiar with, this is not their methodology. But there are lots of other businesses that sole business is to make money off of suggesting that they have easy capital. And once you're a business, your name, your information is out there, and you literally get bombarded by one offer after the next. And and if you need money, you need to pay payroll, you need to pay your rent, you're just going to go what it is. And Black and Hispanic-owned businesses do face greater challenges, and those haven't gone away. So this just exacerbates those inequities.
Indeed. So now there's a bill on the floor, a bill out to try to deal with this. What is the current status of that bill?
So the bill passed the state Senate, the Illinois State Senate in 2024, but it's been facing an uphill battle in the House. The opposition has unlimited resources and basically unlimited money, and very well mobilized. So we were unable to garner sufficient support to get the House through the bill this spring. So we're now focusing our efforts on veto session in November, towards the end of the year, to pass our bill. The good news is that the bill has more support than ever before. It has 25 co-sponsors in the House, endorsed by the Treasurer, Comptroller, the AG, President Preckwinkle, of course, Mayor Johnson. We have a wide coalition and a great lead sponsor, Representative Mary Beth Canty, and we're really ready to get this done.
So clearly people have lobbyists, and lobbyists get paid, and they get paid to kill bills or to promote them. Why is this this seems so obvious? Why is this so difficult to get support behind fully?
I think people did not know it was an issue. I mean, I'll speak for the Cook County Small Business Source. I mean, we partner with the region's leading business support organizations. And until the Woodstock Institute and their coalition elevated it, I didn't know. We didn't know. And so, first of all, and businesses who do end up, falling prey to this, it's a terrible situation to be in, and people are not proud of it. It is not something they like to brag about, and so it is just I think is something that people didn't know. So part of the challenge has been to get the word out, which is really what I think has helped this recent effort make some progress, is because major elected officials have recognized the importance of the issue.
Well, thank you all for continuing to elevate it and continuing to come on and talk about it. Tell us what we can do.
So you can, or I guess I'll speak for joining the Coalition for Small Business Loan Transparency, CSBLT for short. You can go to aprforall.com. That's the word for, not the number for. aprforall.com. You can send a message to your legislator about how you support this bill and you think that they should support it too.
Fantastic.
And
go on, please.
I was just going to say, in addition to that, if you are a small business and you have some questions, challenges, want to access capital, go visit Cook County SmallBizBiz.org.
Fantastic.
And we're here to help.
Appreciate that. That's Myanno Miller, Advocacy Associate at the Woodstock Institute, and Irene Sherr, Deputy Bureau Chief at the Cook County Bureau of Economic Development, still pushing, still pressing, looking for transparency with small business lending. Thank you both for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Indeed, be well. Let's take a break. When we come back, well, I got more for you. We'll be back right after Annette tells us what's in the news.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
A number of people organize.
"63 degrees. We're under a flood watch with periods of rain. I'm in Illinois, and here's what's happening. Today marks the birthday of the late Mayor Harold Washington, the city's first Black mayor. The Chicago Public Library will celebrate his legacy with a screening of the acclaimed documentary Punch 9 for Harold Washington. It chronicles his historic election and legacy, as well as provide a live discussion afterwards. The event starts at 5 p.m. at the Harold Washington Library Center. And Hyde Parkers got together last night and flipped the script on a planned teen takeover. Perry Williams has more on how residents and community members stopped another one from happening.
A number of people organized their own adult takeover and spoke with young people with the hope of shutting down a rowdy gathering.
Let's have a conversation instead of talking at them and making them feel like it's us against them. We're in this together. We love you.
On March 30th, teens caused thousands of dollars in damage in Hyde Park by running across the tops of vehicles. Mayor Brandon Johnson posted a plea on X, calling for parents to be aware of where their children are. I'm Perry Williams.
It's going to be a busy day at City Hall with lots to talk about. One key issue, the Chicago City Council is expected to hear a proposal to get police officers with ties of extremist groups out. The measure would give COPA the authority to investigate officers accused of participating in groups like the Proud Boys or Oath Keepers. The proposal heads to the full council after more than a year of revision. And the owner of a Chicago grocery chain is reaching a settlement in an opioid lawsuit. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul announced that Albertsons is agreeing to pay more than $773 million to address its role in the opioid crisis. Albertsons owns Jewel Osco in Illinois. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. Traffic and weather up next. WVON News Time, 8:36.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there. WVON.
Hi, I'm Lori Smith, host of Meeting the Moment. WVON, in partnership with the Chicago Community Trust, developed Meeting the Moment to amplify the voices of nonprofits across Chicagoland, giving them the communication tools they need to expand their reach and turn awareness into action. Right now, our communities are facing real challenges, from economic uncertainty to public safety to access and equity. But in the middle of it all, there are organizations doing the work quietly, faithfully, powerfully. With Meeting the Moment, we'll have honest conversations about the issues shaping our region and, more importantly, the solutions happening on the ground. And each week, we'll feature a Chicagoland nonprofit making a difference. You'll hear their story and find out how you can support their work, because Meeting the Moment is about more than just awareness. It's about impact. Join the Meeting the Moment movement, a program designed for the doers. For more information, visit WVON.com/Meeting the Moment. Listen every Saturday at 12 noon, right here on WVON 1690, The Talk of Chicago. Let's meet the moment together. Powered by the Chicago Community Trust.
It's Matt McGill.
Matt, we did want to give you a little how do you do today from McGuire. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do? You may think you're upper class, but you're just a horse's. How do you do, Matt McGill? How do you do?
Thank you, guys.
McGuire, you're welcome.
Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Living in the hood is not a curse, it's an opportunity. It's your block, your opportunity, and our movement. Join me, Dr. Roe Davis, every Saturday on WVON 1690 from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. as I help renters become homeowners and homeowners become investors. That's every Saturday on WVON.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
DuSable Lakeshore Drive heavy on both ends. That trip from 67th Street to Jackson still 23 minutes. Pretty heavy as you approach Soldier Field and stop and go all the way to Monroe. Also, you want to factor in an accident is on Cornell Avenue at Hayes Drive. The trip from Hollywood to Monroe still 30 minutes. The inbound side of the Ryan, a slow-moving 35-minute trip from 95th Street into downtown. Getting there along the Bishop Ford, 20 minutes from I-80-94. Tuskegee Airmen Memorial, an 18-minute trip in from I-80. If you're on the Stevenson, still heavy at an hour from I-355 to DuSable Drive, just about 45 on the return trip. The inbound side of the Eisenhower, just shy of an hour from Thorndale to the Burns Circle, 55 traveling out. And as you make your way along the Kennedy, we are looking at an hour from O'Hare to downtown, 55 minutes getting to the airport. The rain has stopped for now. The National Weather Service says we will see on again, off again rain much of the day. Cloudy skies. We're also under a flood watch. Temperatures are expected to reach the low to mid 70s. It's 63 at Midway, 63 in Riverdale, and 63 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm NF Lenoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
If you're not out of the bed yet, then what are you waiting for? It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. Ladies and gentlemen, the 14th Amendment, that's just Section 1, and it is powerful. Included in there, obviously, due process and birthright citizenship. We have joining us this morning Maaria Mozaffar. She's a civil rights attorney, legislative consultant, author, speaker, to talk about where we are in this country with this issue around birthright citizenship. Maaria, welcome back to WVON.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to have you. So where are we with this whole argument around birthright citizenship? First of all, why has this become an issue?
Well, let me start by saying that birthright citizenship was one of the first executive orders that this administration had introduced. It was a big priority for the President of the United States to be able to take on. Just like you had read with the 14th Amendment, it's established in the Constitution that if you are born in the United States, born in the USA, you are an American and you are a citizen. And that specific provision of the 14th Amendment is what the administration wants to take issue with and wants to argue is something that we can reinterpret to mean something else. And the argument from the administration's perspective is because today we have so many individuals that are undocumented that they somehow the narrative that the administration is creating is that across the board there is a misuse of birthright citizenship, and individuals are coming in to make sure that their children are U.S. citizens, and that there's also a birthright citizenship tour where individuals travel the world and decide that they're going to travel to the United States and have their babies. And the issue that the administration has is with two categories specifically. One is undocumented, like I stated, and the other are individuals that have H-1B visas that are here for work purposes only. So that's what the administration wants to argue and wants to basically state that that provision has enabled individuals to take advantage of the birthright citizenship provision in the Constitution. And to counter that, we must reinterpret it what it means altogether.
This is an amendment to the Constitution. This goes back hundreds of years. There are so many people who have been born here and gained citizenship specifically by this provision in the Constitution. Those seemingly, Maaria, are the same people who are looking to close the doors at this point.
Well, absolutely. And I we need to think about really who the birthright citizenship historically covered. I mean, the biggest phrase here that is dispute, which is very clearly on display in the Supreme Court arguments, was subject to the jurisdiction of, which means that if you're an individual that is subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, then they are a citizen. But if you're not subject to the jurisdiction, if you're a visitor, if you're a foreign, if you're a diplomat, then you're not subject to that. But what historically the category has been that has been covered are children of enslaved individuals that were brought to the United States illegally. And all those children and all those people that came after that are U.S. citizens because their forefathers and the parents were brought illegally to the United States as slaves. And so that category uplifted the individual. It uplifted the fact that if you're born in the United States, you should be subject to the privileges of being a citizen. And I think the issue of jurisdiction is the argument that you saw back and forth. But what I would say is this, is what you see here is using the argument against the Constitution to create a public policy that is political. So we have a constitutional process. We have a constitutional argument that the Supreme Court judges have to look at, and that's how we decide constitutional issues. We are not to be using, and as Justice Kavanaugh said in his arguments and his questioning at the oral arguments, is that we are supposed to use U.S. history, U.S. law to be able to decide on constitutional issues, not public policy issues, not the immigration political stance that you have as an agenda for the administration. And I think that's what we're going to see. Are we going to have public policy that is slanted in a political nature to decide this issue, or are we going to look at the Constitution and the Supreme Court, which has decided over 100 years ago that birthright citizenship is if you are born in the land of the USA?
You know, there's so much in this argument, and there's so many things as well that are now being presented to the Supreme Court to adjudicate on. Here's a question. Does the Supreme Court make those decisions, or does the Supreme Court push it back to the places where the decisions are to be made? And it would seem in this case This one has already been determined. If there's going to be any changes to it, those changes seemingly should be legislative changes from the Congress, not from the executive branch.
You're correct. So Supreme Court decides issues on constitutional questions, and it decides issues that also has original jurisdiction. So it has issues that cannot be decided by lower courts. So this specific issue came about because states actually filed a lawsuit based on the fact that they did not agree with the executive order of the birthright citizenship, and so it was brought to the Constitution, brought to the Supreme Court to decide on the Constitution. I think what you're going to see here is the trend, and you will see that there's a lot of conservative judges, the conservative ones on the Supreme Court, that are actually understanding the danger of using political policy and current political situations to decide questions of the Constitution. For example, there's an argument that was made that there are people that are waiting in line to be able to have their babies born in the United States. And, this is a political narrative. And so you are deviating from what the intent and the purpose of the birthright citizenship provision was. And the job of the Supreme Court is to come back to the intent, and looking at older case law and seeing if you can use the provision of the birthright citizenship and argue against it, that it's not afforded to every person in the United States, to actually exclude people, which would also be a violation of the Constitution if you're excluding people based on the fact that of their national origin, which brings us back to really the public policy intent altogether of this argument that happened with the introduction of this executive order. And that is to control demographic change. And I come back to this quite often because it's very important to see the overall goal of the administration and the overall perpetuation of these policies specifically designed to not only change the value system of the United States, but now to counter the Constitution itself and say the intent was always to control demographic change, which is not the case. The provision of the 14th Amendment was to afford individuals that had been brought in that were individuals that were children of people that were enslaved illegally, and it expanded the rights and the privilege of the Constitution to them. So the whole intent of the provision of the birthright citizenship was to expand the protections of the Constitution of individuals. It was not to shut people out.
Amen to all that. We're talking to Maaria Mozaffar. She's a civil rights attorney, legislative consultant, author, speaker, talking about birthright citizenship, what's happening in the Supreme Court in Washington. We'll have more with her when we come back right after this.
More of the morning show with Rufus Williams coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicago. This is City Clerk Anna Valencia, and I'm excited to share that Amnesty Month is back. From April 1st through April 30th, you can purchase your Chicago City sticker without late fees or back charges. There are 3 ways to get your city sticker during Amnesty April. 1, visit any office of the city clerk or Department of Finance location. 2, come see us at one of our 3 Saturday mobile city halls, and you'll get your city key too. 3, visit shycityclerk.com to purchase online. We'll see you soon.
Think your old cannabis record disappeared when Illinois legalized it? Myth. Think expungement costs too much or requires a trip to court? Another myth. Here the facts. New Leaf, Illinois can help you clear your cannabis record plus other eligible records for free. Join Rufus Williams and New Leaf, Illinois for a special takeover of the WVON Morning Show, Monday, April 20th at 8 a.m. Learn the truth about clearing your record and how you can turn over a new leaf.
I know you're going to dig this.
Yeah, I was saying this earlier. I said when white people don't like something, they just remove it.
Or change it.
Yeah, they that's what they do. But where was the dude that was redacting stuff during the Puffy trial? I'm like, some stuff I didn't need to know. Like rubbing somebody's manhood on your chest. I'm like, oh my goodness. That's
yeah, that's all right.
I might forgive you, but you'll never be able to drink nothing yellow ever again. Not ever. Not lemonade, not apple juice. Damn sure not that soda called Squirt. That could never happen. It is the D.L. Hughley Show.
WVON birthday celebration continues on Saturday, April 18th at the City Winery as we host the legendary Regina Belle. That's right, Regina Belle is heading to Chicago for 2 shows at the City Winery, singing all of your favorites. This is your boy Maddie. Come join me. I'll be hosting both shows at 5 p.m. and 8:30. Don't miss R&B and jazz legend Regina Belle, Saturday, April 18th at the City Winery, 1200 West Randolph. Tickets are going fast. Get yours today, and happy birthday, WVON.
Chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can make me feel like a spectator in my own life.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine preventive treatment.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
This report is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Ready for a home refresh? Now's the season to finally make it happen. At Ashley's Spring Savings Event 72-hour sale, save up to 25% on your entire purchase with select spring styles, starting at just $4.99 and only at Ashley's.
WVON traffic and weather now.
No changes in your travel times this break, but we're still monitoring what's happening on the outbound side of the Bishop Ford. Right now, solid from Sibley to 154th Street. That's due to that earlier accident. That accident was involving a semi. Crews are right now on the scene there near 154th, trying to remove that semi. Taking a look at your weather right now, rain has stopped. The National Weather Service says we'll see periods of rain on again, off again throughout the morning. We're also under a flood watch. Temperatures right now in the 60s is 63 at Midway, 63 in Roseland, and 63 degrees here at the Talk of Chicago. That's a look at traffic and weather now. I'm Annette Flournoy on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Keep your eyes on the road and both hands on the steering wheel. We will not be held responsible for any accidents. It's the WVON Morning Show with Rufus Williams on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. We are talking with civil rights attorney, legislative consultant, author, speaker, Maaria Mozaffar, talking about the 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship. It sits right in the middle of the slavery amendments. The 13th abolished slavery. The 14th gave equal protection, due process, and birthright citizenship. And the 15th Amendment gave Black men the right to vote. Maaria, when we look at where we are now with birthright citizenship,
a political dramatic theater for them, because they were able to see, okay, the president is there as if he is watching the oral arguments in some way, you know, like he's actually keeping a close eye enough that he's going to sit in the audience itself. And I will say that according to the individuals that were there, they stated that he was not recognized. The Supreme Court judges did not say the president is here. So, I think that is a very powerful move as well, is that the Supreme Court judges were just very specifically dedicated to the role that they had, which is really, really good. And I mean good in the aspect that we don't want the politicization of the different branches of government in a form that misinterprets what their role is. The Supreme Court is to decide as an independent body. It is not to be intimidated by the executive branch. So that's very important. I think what we're going to see is the rule on the legality of the executive order, you're going to see either by late June or early July. That's what they're saying. And then, the idea that we can interpret how this is going to go is not a position we're in right now, because really the conservative judges were surprisingly very, very suspect of the administration's arguments. It was not very clear and concise that they were convinced. And I think that what we're going to see is through this process, there's going to be conversations around the country talking about the fact that we do not want the Constitution to be misused and misinterpreted for political purposes. And once the Supreme Court decides this issue on birthright citizenship, it is going to not only decide the issue itself, but it's going to decide, can public policy and current climates actually impact the way we look at the Constitution? A lot of people have this argument that it is a dynamic document. So, for example, that is true because we had the amendments that were added on. We had the Black men to have the right to vote. We eliminated slavery. So we had all of these things come in through the Constitution, and we made it from a document that was permanent into a dynamic document. So you can have the argument, as things change, we need to make sure that we're looking at the Constitution and it's responsive and it's appropriate to the current circumstances. But I will say the birthright citizenship issue lies on the issue of intent, lies on the issue of what the intent of the crafters was. And I think looking at the arguments and looking at the fact that birthright citizenship was actually used to afford protections to more people versus shut people out, which would be a violation of the Constitution to shut people out based on ethnicity, religion, and identity, then we can come to the conclusion that if you are using the reinterpretation of the Constitution to respond to demographic change because you don't like what the country looks like anymore, then you would be violating the Constitution altogether, and it would be a misuse of reinterpreting the Constitution.
Maaria Mozaffar, thank you so much for your analysis. We certainly appreciate you coming on with us and look forward to continuing to cover this conversation with you in the future.
Thank you so much.
Indeed. Be well. Look, folks, before I get out of here, I want to remind you to join me and New Leaf for a special takeover of my show coming up this Monday, April 20th at 8 a.m. Hear how New Leaf is helping people statewide clear cannabis and other records through free legal help and information. Check them out at newleafillinois.org or give a call to 872-NEW-LEAF and be sure to tune in on April 20th, this coming Monday at 8 a.m. for the New Leaf Illinois Takeover, only on the Rufus Williams Show, only on WVON. And we continue with our Friday night of premieres. It wraps up this Friday, April 17th, with a powerful short film showcase featuring Finger Food, Chicago Guy, What Say You, and RIP t-shirts. And next week, your favorite WVON shows will each dive into one of the films and keep the discussion going. Don't miss the grand finale this Friday and stay locked in all next week for the conversation. Check it out on Vine TV, which is available to you on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at VON.TV. Look, Annette, thank you so much for all that you do for the conversation and certainly for the information. And Titus, keeping it together, man. We have a lot going on and appreciate you keeping it all going. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you, as I always do, as you go through the course of the day, you will come across people who are dealing with things that you know absolutely nothing about. So please be kind, always. And with that, Annette, tell us what's in the headlines, and T-Dub, take us home.
We're under a flood watch on this Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. I'm Annette Fornoy, and in the headlines. Today marks the birthday of the late Mayor Harold Washington, the city's first Black mayor. The Chicago Public Library will celebrate with a screening of the acclaimed documentary, Punch 9. Major League Baseball honors the legacy of Jackie Robinson.